Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and welcome to what I'm sure you can tell already is a nice little one-off game demo that we are playing today. So, if you guys remember a little while back, we did play a demo for Saintess of the Golden Bow, which was by Transparent Games. They had reached out and asked me if I wanted to play the demo. We played the demo. We had a lot of fun with it. And now they've reached back out and asked about if we wanted to do the demo for their new upcoming Otome visual novel, which is, as you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, and the screen in front of you, My Wife is a Spy. So absolutely, totally, we're gonna have some fun. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. The demo is apparently about like 40 minutes to give you like a good idea of the world and the characters and all that stuff like that. But you know me. I talk a lot. We like to interject. We theorize. We like to shoot the shit. So it might take a little bit longer, but we are going to play through the full demo today, however long it takes. So I am going to read you. I will also link below, before I forget, in the description, I will give you all of Transparent Games links, Twitter, Instagram, all those things that I have, as well as the Steam page for this game, so you can go out there and check it out. I will read you the little synopsis of the game from the Steam page, so when I get to that, just be aware that my recording software is recording the game, so there will be no sound for a hot second, because that's just how it works when I toggle to another screen. You won't see the Steam page. You'll still see this, but so don't mind that. But let me just read you the little email that I have. So you awaken in a foreign body, tied by fate to an arranged marriage with Zachary, the cold Duke of the North. So we're isekai'd into someone else's body, so cool beans, we're here for that. And a cold Duke? Oh, we can warm him up. Don't even. This is going to be wildly inappropriate. Will you stand by his side in the struggle against war and betrayal, or carve your own path as a villainess? Fun. Are you sold already? Because I am. So in the full game, this is the little synopsis, about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay with emotional choice-driven storytelling, 2 major narrative paths, romance or villainous, 5 distinct endings shaped by your choices, an affection and suspicion system that evolves your relationship with Zachary, which obviously, if you're getting good affection with him, you're probably getting toward the romance. If he's sus of you, you're going down the villainous path. You know what I mean? I think you can see how that would work. 10 plus CG illustrations highlighting key story moments. There are mature themes, 17 plus, including depictions of family abuse and manipulation. So that's just a little fair warning right now. I don't think that it'll get into any of that in the demo, because the demo is usually the very beginning of the game. But just in case, fair warning, trigger warning for that. So, take care of yourselves. So there's that. Let me pull up the Steam page. So just beware that we're going to silent. All of a sudden now we're silent. So the story, life was never fair, not before the accident, and certainly not after. You expected magic, adventure, maybe a crown. Instead, you awaken in a foreign body, forced into an arranged marriage with Zachary, the cold and distant Duke of the North. Born to the sunlit luxury of the South, you're sent to a frozen, war-torn land plagued by monsters, famine, and unrest. Your new husband is a man of duty, not affection, bound by loyalty to a crumbling crown, and now bound to you. But even pawns can learn to move. I love how that is in italics. Oh, that's great. Will you earn Zachary's trust and fight beside him to save his people? Or seize your own fate, rise as a villainess, and bring the North under your heel? I love this. Okay, obviously, hold on. What will you become in a world where loyalty is dangerous and love might just be the ultimate betrayal? So what I love about this is it's not your standard Otome where, okay, here you have 5 love interests, which path do you go down? You have different endings, but it's like, are you going to fall in love with your husband, or are you going to crush this motherfucker and be evil? And like, that's kind of awesome. You know what I mean? Like, so it fits in the Otome as in I'm romancing this man, but you're also like, but I don't have to. I can like, although I do want to know if there's an ending with the side piece that I've seen pictures of in the like promo photos they sent me, and I was like, you'll know as soon as we get to him, as soon as it pops up on screen, you guys are going to be like, that's him right there. That's Spacey's right there. That's the one. Yeah, yeah. All I'm saying, I want that. So we'll get there. So our characters are Sophia, who is the main character. Brought up in a strict home, sheltered by harsh tradition, she's always been told who to be, but despite all, her unwavering strength and determination push her to find her own place, whether in this world or a fantasy one. And then Zachary, Duke of the North, guardian of kingdom, I think it's supposed to be of a kingdom besieged by monsters, brutal winters, and dark conspiracies. Duty has made him brave yet cold and wary of trust. Beneath the ice, a heart may still beat. Will you be the one to thaw it? And then, of course, you choose your path. So as we said, you're navigating a delicate balance between gaining his affection and raising his suspicion, earn his trust to unlock romance, or let doubt fester and carve a path toward power and rebellion. So are we going to be the dutiful Duchess, or are we manipulating the game from the shadows as a true villainess? So fun. And the features, 2 diverging routes. So again, we know that's romance or villainous. Which one are you going to do? 8 to 10 hours of gameplay, 5 unique endings. So including a heartwarming resolutions and darker, more treacherous outcomes. So, and now in that, it doesn't really say, so you could have like 2 endings inside the romance. You could have 1 happy ending in the romance, 1 bad ending in the romance, and a bunch of dark, who knows? Who knows where the balance is, but there you go. You got 5 different endings. The affection and suspicion system. So if you look at the Steam page, which you can't see again, but there's it has little pop-ups, which maybe we'll see as we're making choices in the demo. Who knows? 10 gorgeous CGs, nameable protagonists. So Spacey, it's going to be evil. Mature emotional storytelling. So again, exploring themes of arranged marriage, power, and survival, including content warnings for family abuse and emotional manipulation. Once again, there you go. And a rich fantasy setting inspired by Renaissance Italy and medieval Sweden. Navigate a world divided, sun-drenched decadent south versus frostbit crumbling north, rife with tension, mystery, and rebellion. Fun times. All right. So anyway, that's all going to be linked below. So we're going to start a new game. Choose your name. Look, and this is, I guess, us before we fall into... So we're going to go with Spacey because, we got to make this as awkward as possible. Trigger warning. This visual novel deals with themes of heavy familial abuse. It gives hope that a person can move on from the years of pain if they leave a toxic environment and find a good circle of people who support them. That's sweet. And I like the fact that they've not only warned you in the Steam page, but they tell you right off the bat. So again... If this is triggering for you, this might bother you, this is your chance to peace out. Don't worry about it. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure. I didn't want the music to be too loud in the background. I'll turn it up a teeny bit. I didn't want it to be too loud in the background to drown out me talking. But now it's one of those now is it too quiet? It's a really hard balance to find, guys. Every game I struggle with it. Every game, I swear it's a me thing. Anyway, almost home. The gentle wind sways the canopies of trees as I walk through my neighborhood. The soft breeze and the pleasantly warm June evening weather put me in a good mood. And again, I do love their art style because Saints of the Golden Bow had beautiful art, and this one's cute too. I like it. Even the background art's beautiful. My heart fills with blooming joy as I look around the area. I take in the sights of the neighborhood where I grew up. The familiar houses, the new and old cars, the stray soccer ball left behind by children. Just one more month until I can finally leave this place behind and move out of my parents' house. All I need is the first paycheck from the job I landed today, and I can start looking for my own apartment closer to the city center. I hum a happy tune, my steps light. Today I had a job interview for the position of a business analyst at a prestigious corporation. Oh god, I'm getting triggered right now. Guys. My prior job at the company I work for, at a prestigious corporation, okay? Like a very large corporate America company, was a business analyst. And everybody who asks, what do you do? I don't know. I don't even know how to describe. Well, technically it was a business systems analyst. I don't even know how to describe. I literally wrote documentation when we changed things in back-end computer systems. Like, it used to go A to B to C, and now it goes A to B to D to C. Like, seriously. And nobody ever read them. So they were pointless. Which is why I no longer have that job. Because we basically got rid of that. Now I'm the person that makes it go from A to B to C to A to B to D to C. Like, I'm sorry. This line is just so funny because I'm like, oh my God, this was me. I feel very connected to this game right now. Does that mean I'm going to get isekai'd into like another world? That would be nice right about now. Let me tell you something. All of my effort spent learning math and economics at college has finally paid off. I didn't learn those things, though. Only half a year after graduation, and I already have the dream job I've always wanted. Good for her, it took me a long time to get here. Half a year filled with even more belittling from my parents than usual. Aw. Telling me I'd picked the wrong course of studies, that I would have been better off not going to school at all instead of pursuing economics. I mean, college is kind of a scam sometimes, but like, girl, you went, you got a degree, they can't take it away from you. I've become my father. Every time I'm like, I'm still paying my student loans. They can't take that away from you though, that piece of paper. You're like, yeah, but I paid a lot of money for this piece of paper and I could have done my job without it. But also no, I couldn't have because companies won't hire you without that piece. And that's a whole, see, the game gave you a trigger warning for like the family abuse stuff and not the college student loans job trauma of corporate America. Real world adult trauma. You know, I think you need to put a warning at the beginning. This might give you real world being an adult trauma. Like, just it's so real. Insisting that with my shyness and fear of people, I'd never be able to impress anybody during a job interview. Hey, I managed to land a job, and we know how I don't like talking to people. Saying that I'd end up living with them until I grew old. Insisting I should be grateful for it because I'd never survive without them. Yeah, wow, your parents are crazy. I take a deep breath, then release it. I'm glad the years of suffering my father's and mother's pointed words will soon come to an end. Maybe, just maybe, they'll be happy that I landed my new job. Perhaps now that I've proven myself capable of starting my career after studying so hard, things will change for the better between us? After all, I impressed the interviewer so much that I landed the position immediately after the interview. They called me with the job offer when I was on the subway returning home. I'm sure my parents will appreciate that I'm finally becoming independent. With renewed hope, I opened the door to our home. The delicious smell of well-cooked steak wafts in the air. Okay, so I actually don't know if this game... I know the Saintis game was voiced. I don't know if this one's going to be. It does have in the settings, like voice settings, so I don't know if it is something that's going to be voiced down the road, but they don't have it yet in the demo or not, so... Or maybe some characters are and some characters aren't. I don't know. I just noticed that there was a setting for it, for like voice settings. But like our mother didn't yell at us the second we walked in the door, so. And it also didn't mention it anywhere, so I was like, I wasn't sure, so. Awesome, you get my voice acting. Oh, you guys, you love it. Anyway, you're late. Dinner's getting cold. Mother glares at me from the dining table. Father sits opposite her, looking at his phone. The table's set for dinner and they're already eating. They didn't wait for me to get back home. Like, sit down immediately and eat. You don't want your mother's cooking to go to waste. Right. Wow, they are assholes. I take a seat and taste the half-cold steak in front of me. How's work been today, dear? Should I even ask? I'm sure you screwed something up once again. Did you insult a client during a presentation? Ruin important documents? Delete a file with crucial data. Huh? Why would you assume I can't do my job properly? Because you're a useless husband. Can't imagine you doing one thing right. And you've made all those mistakes before. Our parents need marital therapy. Doesn't mean I'll repeat them. I'm not as absent-minded as you are. How the hell were we even born? I mean, I guess they liked each other once, maybe. My parents are going at it again, arguing. Although I do find, okay, so this is a very, like, knowing what we know about the game and, like, we're in an arranged marriage. He's a cold duke, whatever. It's like, I see the parallels happening here, you know, like you're setting up like, oh, our family, my dad's standoffish and my mom's a bitch and whatever, and they don't get along, and then you're kind of like, then you're going to get isekai'd into this other body, sold off to this guy, and you're like, now we're getting married and we're forced into this arranged marriage, and he's just like, whatever, and you're like, whatever, and you're like, oh, it's my parents all over again. So your family trauma is also going to impact the way you're going to act in this situation. Like, if you walked in the door and your parents like, oh my God, you're so great. It's so wonderful, sweetie. Oh, and they're just wonderful, loving, adoring parents and they love each other and everything's all wholesome and wonderful. And you get isekai'd into some other kind of fantasy land. You're probably going to be like, well, let me try to talk to my husband who seems cold. I bet he's soft underneath. Because you're going to go based off what you know. You're not just going to be like, oh, this guy, it's just like my dad. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, this guy's like my dad. He's probably just shy and awkward, you know? So, like, I get it. Okay. I see. I mean, not fully parallel, but you see the, like, illusion of parallel here, you know? I've experienced little love from them all my life. No warmth, no support. Also explains why we could be a frigid bitch when we get to our other life. I'm just saying. They hate each other just as much as they detest me. That's the way our family has always been. That's why I want to move out as soon as possible. That's why I'm striving to have a proper career, so I can support myself and get away from them. You're not any better than me. You can't even wash the dishes without breaking a plate. I'm sure you suck at your job just as much as you suck at managing the household. How dare you! If you hate the way I keep house so much, then don't eat the food I make! You ungrateful pig! Also, just so you know, my voice is wrecked right now. So that's why I can't, like, scream properly. You can probably tell by my talking, and anybody that's been around for a while knows, because I have been recording a lot for an upcoming vacation. So I have been recording in mass over the last couple of weeks. So my voice it's not recovering. Hopefully it will recover, like, when I have a nice, like, week and a half long break, but I at least deserve to eat a good meal after all the hard work I do to bring home the money that keeps this family fed. The meager money you bring in from your job barely manages that much, especially with Spacey leeching off us and being unemployed. It's really funny because when we were talking as we were walking up to our house, we were like, my parents act like, oh, you should stay here, but now they're talking about I'm leeching off of them. And if I feel like she's going to be like, I'm getting a job and moving out, they're going to be like, no, you need to stay. And like, you went to school and your parents berated you for that. Like they want you to get the fuck out, so you're going to try to get the fuck out, and then they're going to be like, no. Like, they just want to be miserable, don't they? I curl my clammy hands on my knees, like fingernails biting into my palms. My lip quivers when I speak up. With my parents' focus suddenly on me, now's my chance to tell them that I just got my dream job. Still, their attention fills my heart to the brim with fear. These emotions are nothing new. I've dealt with them all my life, but I could never get used to the feeling of being so small, so inadequate. I am small, of course, and I do amount to almost nothing. No, wait, that can't be entirely true since I did land my dream job after all. Like, damn, girl, they done a number on you. The fact that I'm finally making a future for myself should change the way my parents see me. Ooh, you know what, girl? Hike your tits up and tell them about your job. Actually, I just returned from a job interview and they called me right afterward to confirm that I landed the position. This is probably... Either way, it's going to be bad, I feel like. Either way, if you stay quiet, they're going to, like, snark at you. If you say you got a job, they're going to snark at you. So you finally decided to stop leeching off us and become what? Toilet cleaner? Yes. What? No. I landed a job related to my field of study. I'm going to be a business analyst. Ha! I wonder how long. How long? What, Mother? How long you're going to keep the job before they fire you? You suck at public speaking, but as a business analyst, you'll have to make presentations in front of the whole team, telling people way smarter than you how they can improve their work on the project. So our mom, like, understands what our job is. Her mom understands her job better than I understand. But no, the presentation part's true. But you know what? As someone who hates public speaking, I know I do this for a side hustle. Okay, I do this for funsies. I do not like speaking in front of large groups of people. But I feel like that's what makes me good at speaking in front of large groups of people. Because I hate it so much. I've always been told when I go and I do work presentation, yeah, you're really good at this. And I'm like, I hate it every second. But when I know I have to do it, you prepare so much harder. You practice more. You say what you're going to say. You speak and you like rehearse and you do all this. So when you get up there, it rolls off the tongue and it feels more natural because you have literally spent weeks agonizing in stress comas over it. So, you know, she'll be fine. That's all I'm saying. You think anybody's going to listen to you? Speak in such a quiet voice that most days I have trouble hearing you. Why, out of all possible career paths, did you have to choose a role that has so much to do with presenting your ideas to others? You studied economics and finance. You don't want to be a shop clerk. You could at least become an accountant so you have less need for public speaking. Your new employer will see quickly you're not fit for the job you just accepted. I love how they want you out of their hair and leeching off them, and instead of being like, good for you, go just bye, they're like, oh, you suck at this. You might as well just quit now, you loser. So that you fail and then you leech off that. Wow, they really just want to wallow in their misery. Tears well up at my eyes. Nothing has changed. Even though I now have my dream job, in the eyes of my parents, I'm still as useless as ever. Your parents suck. I open my mouth again to tell them I'm going to move out soon, but I hesitate. What if I really can't do my job properly and the company lets me go after the first month? Would I have to then return to this house with my tail between my legs? I think you could find a friend to live with or live in a cardboard box. It would be better. Tremors course through my whole body, fear gnawing at me from the inside out. I told you to just get a job as a shop clerk at the local grocery store. I already went there and asked if they'd give you the position. It's the only kind of job someone as useless as you can do. Being a cashier or cleaner is good for you. Business analyst my ass. We always said studying economics and finance wasn't right for you. You won't do well on the job. The tears overflow and my vision blurs. No, 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 no! I can't take this anymore. Spacey, you haven't finished your dinner! My mother yells at me when I get up, but I can't hear anything my parents say anymore. I can't see a thing through my tears. I can't hear a word through the noise in my ears. Okay. I really, like, she gonna go run out and get hit by a car or some shit and end up isekai'd into another realm. I hope she doesn't come back here at the end. Don't. Maybe that's one of the endings, though, you think? And one of the endings, you're like, this is the worst ending ever. I'm back here. I'd rather have been beheaded by my cold Duke husband than come back here. This would be the worst ending. I run out of the house, the door slamming behind me. I don't look where I'm going, heading straight into the street. I just want to get away. Get away, get away. As far away from the pain and toxicity of my parents as I can go. The loud screech of a car coming to a halt sounds from my right. She really is... I didn't know that, but it just seemed like a logical conclusion. A delivery van coming straight at me. No! I quickly judge the distance back to the pavement or to the other side of the road. I decide to... Doesn't matter, we're getting plowed by this car. Step back, I guess. I turn around to run back to the sidewalk. I only take a few steps before a devastating force hits my body. I'm going to assume either way you get hit by a car, but I like that they give you the illusion of choice. Like, whatever you do is not going to end up, unless moving ahead means you get a bad ending because you're stuck here. Well, that would suck. I fly in the air and the distance feels so far. Finally, my body hits the pavement. I can't scream really loud. I experienced the worst agony I've ever felt in my life. I don't know, eating dinner with your parents seems pretty bad. No abusive words from my parents compare to the searing pain of my body being destroyed under the weight of the car. I like that they put that in there because they knew exactly what we were all thinking. We're like, are you sure? Because I've met your parents. I cough up blood. I hear screams around me. Someone's grabbing my legs, trying to get me out from under the van. There's loud ringing in my ears and blackness fills my vision. Slowly, the pain fades. When I come to my senses again, I don't feel any pain anymore. I look down at my body. It's not crushed, deformed, or in any way destroyed, but it's translucent. Around me is pure whiteness, blindingly bright, but instead of my eyes hurting, the sight of the place feels serene and comforting. Hello? My voice echoes loudly in the emptiness around me. Slowly, I realize what's going on. I died. I ran into the road, driven by emotions, and got run over by a delivery van. You gotta feel bad for the poor driver. A small laugh escapes my lips. In the end, I really did amount to nothing. I died such a pathetic death stemming from my own stupidity. Serves me right. Disappointment and regret fill my heart. I just landed my dream job. I was ready to get out of the abusive environment of my parents' home. Well, you still are. I would have finally been able to live my life the way I wanted, to prove my worth to my mother and father and to myself, to build a life of my own. Great. This sucks so much. I want to go back. I want to live my life. But going back to the life I'd lived is no longer a possibility, is it? I had died and gone to heaven? Is that what this place is? Wind blows behind me, a heavy draft erupting in the stillness of the air. I spin on my translucent heels in the direction of the blast and see a red door? In the white emptiness, the red door is very pronounced. I feel a pull towards the entrance. The door beckons to me, dares me to come closer. It's not like there's anything else to do around here. Absolute perfect justification for opening a red door in the midst of nothingness. I move towards the door, my steps entirely silent. I only stop when I'm in front of the entrance to... where? My hand hovers over the handle. Should I open the door? A shiver runs up my spine. I feel watched. Someone's behind me, staring at my every move. I turn around quickly, but nobody's there. Only the vast bay of whiteness. If you want to go back to your world, you must complete your mission. Who are you? Who's there? Fear rises in my heart, but even though I call for the person behind the voice, there's no reply. I don't want to go back to my world, though. No. No. I'm assuming one of the endings is probably go back to your world, but can I say no? My mission? What's my mission? Am I not dead? What more is there to do? The door behind me yawns open. I face the entrance. The inside of the door is glowing with warm pink light, inviting me forward. Warm pink, and it's kind of glittery, so my ass would be through that door, no question. Strange. Curiosity pulls me towards the entrance. I want to go through. I want to see what's on the other side. My life can't end like this. I want to see what the mission is so I can go back to my world. I don't want to go back to my world. Parents are awful. I need to live my life more. My resolve clear, I step through the red door. Where's that good-for-nothing daughter? We're done with dinner. How can the child be so rude as to be late? We've already eaten everything, even the celebratory lobster. What does it matter if she's late? If she doesn't want to eat, she can starve for all I care. I mean, damn, this is fancy. And, like, I'm assuming these are our new parents and our new sister. Like, who are these people? Where am I? Pink hair, clothes that would belong at a Renaissance fair. I'm sorry. We're Ted Mosby. A Renaissance fair? Foreign food? There you are, Sophia. Sophia? Who's that? Sophia the First. We're Sophia the First now. We hopped into a kid's cartoon. Are you staring at like a dumb lamp, child? Come to eat now, have you? I'm Sophia? Child? Who is this man to me? I look down at myself and see long pink hair. I'm also wearing an outfit that wouldn't be out of place at a Renaissance fair. My skin's slightly darker than my usual color. I take a step forward and stumble. I seem taller now, and something binds my middle, constricting my breathing. Is this a corset? I pinch myself, but I don't wake up. The pain is real. The situation is real. Hi. I know. If there are lines that birdies need to make noise, I'll let you know. But you did very bad in the other game we played, where we had bird lines, and I'd be like, okay, you gotta read, and you wouldn't read the bird lines. So nobody wants to hear you now. That's not true. Everybody loves you. Okay, maybe not everybody, but you know what? People gotta suck it up. They gotta suck it up if they don't love the bird. Obviously, I'm talking to my bird. It's sitting with me if you're new here and didn't bird. I know, there's no bird lines, though. Okay. I do not know how to pronounce her name. I'm not even going to try to butcher that. I'm not going to butcher. I'll butcher it if I try to say Sophia's name after this. So you just pretend I read that, because I do not need my poor ignorant ass butchering somebody's name and people making fun of me. Anyway. Quit staring at us like you're seeing us for the first time. It's unsettling. If you want to eat something, there's still some leftovers. Like what, the empty husk of a lobster? Jesus. The woman gestures to the table. My gaze wanders over the lobster shells. Seriously, there's a couple pieces of lime, some parsley, a couple of tomatoes over here. A half a piece of fruit. There's nothing else to eat except for maybe the berries, which the younger woman's currently snacking on. Do they think I'm a dog? That I'll lick their plates clean? Listen to your mother, Sophia. What's going on with you today? My sister's always been strange. This is nothing new. Sophia, name I can't pronounce. The strange name rings a bell. On my way back from the job interview, I read a webcomic where a person by this name was one of the side characters. Is it Carcieri? Carcieri? Is it supposed to be like, I don't know. Well, you know what I mean? Like, Sophia, is it Dale? Doll? You're supposed to, and then we said, did we say Italian and, well, Swedish was in there, but what was the other one in there? Anyway. Listen, we know I can barely muddle through Japanese names at this point, but that's about it. That's about it. When you put any other thing, I can't. The girl had long pink hair, much like I do now. She wasn't anybody significant in the story, just a shy girl who followed the main heroine around as part of her entourage. But now I'm the main heroine. I'll make this about me. I have main character energy. But that was just a story. And the situation I'm in right now feels very real. I couldn't have been reincarnated, right? That's not possible. I did die, though, and now I'm very much alive. Only, I'm not myself anymore. Sophia. Yes, that's your name, you stupid oaf. What in the world's going on with you? The man speaking must be Sophia's father. He once, He once slighted the male lead of the webcomic. He's known for his mean personality. Count Elio? I think it's Elio. Is it supposed to be Dale? We'll go with Dale. Carcieri? We'll just go. Okay, listen, we're just going to wing it, and it's going to be wrong, and I'm going to butcher it. Can I look this up? Because it's obviously a real name, probably. Like Smith would be, you know what I mean? How do you, Carceri. Carceri. Okay. Well, I mean, that's what I can find for different things from some other, wherever it came up from, but, so there you go. I don't know if it's supposed to be Dale or Dal or whatever, but we'll go with Dale Carcieri. Did I say Carcieri? Is that what I said? Whatever. Good enough. I grab the edge of the chair as the world spins in front of me. I'm overwhelmed by the new situation. I'm not feeling very well. See, she's not fit for the mission you want to send her on. And what do you think I'm supposed to do about it? She's going anyway. Sophia's always been useless. Finally, she'll be able to do something helpful for the family. You know, now I guess the parallels are more like I got left one abusive family and got sucked into another one. Shit, I can't even win in death, man. Sophia's mother and father no longer pay attention to me, arguing amongst themselves. The younger woman continues to eat berries, unbothered by the scene the Count and Countess are making. So, like, are we to believe that we are being shipped off to marry the cold Duke of the North, and that's the traitorous thing, is like, are we spying? We're obviously spying for our family, and it's like, so the love is going to be like, no, fuck my family, I'm going to fall in love with you. Well, now I don't want to be evil and, like, backstab him, because our family sucks. He might be cold and aloof, but, like, that's the kind of man I like. Just saying. Hi, frigid bastards. Like, you know, the only thing that would make him better is slap glasses on him. Hi, bastard bespectacled boyfriends. That's my type. Hello. Why do you think I main Zane in Love and Deep Space? He's kind of frigid and cold, but you know they're fucking marshmallows inside. Hello, I love the marshmallows. She watches me with a loathing gaze that freezes the blood in my veins. What's her deal? Are you excited about finally amounting to something, sister? So she's Sophia's sister, Bianca, a memory supplies. I don't know what everyone's talking about. They'll reveal all to you in due time. They had to pick you, not me. I wanted to prove myself to father, but it had to be you. I have no idea what she's talking about. The Count and Countess continue arguing. Their voice is getting louder and louder. I do like that the background things are dynamic. Like she keeps like eating berries, so like her hand will be down and then she's eating a berry and then like it goes back and forth. Why are you taking more and more loans? Are you insane? Soon our situation will improve tremendously and then we'll be completely out of debt. Yeah, okay, all right. Was the lobster we ate today bought with the latest sum of money you borrowed from the crown? Of course it was. But worry not, my beautiful wife. Soon our family will get the honor and riches we deserve. We're selling our daughter off, as you know. He didn't say that, but I'm just assuming that's caveat in there. His gaze lands on me again, see? All thanks to Sophia. And then she's gonna backstab and then we'll take and there's a lot of, I'm sure, gonna be conniving and shit underneath. Now, child, make yourself scarce. And because you dared to miss our special dinner, you'll receive only servant food for the next 3 days. I'm gonna bet the servant food is probably still good. You're also confined to your room. What? Why? Domestic, escort Sophia to her room. Lady Sophia. The butler gestures to the door. I like how he doesn't call him butler or name. He calls him domestic. Wow. I take one last look at Sophia's family before I stumble out of the room. The man grabs my shoulder, but I have no delusion that the gesture is to support me. He yanks me along the corridor in a rough fashion before more or less throwing me into a room. When the room's locked, I collapse onto the soft bed. Memories of Sophia's life begin to flood my mind, of her relationship with her parents, of her life as a gambling count's daughter. And here we are. Oh, look, we're adorable. Is this situation for real? For real? Every time any character says for real, all I think of is Ryuji from Persona 5. Sophia's parents are just as abusive as mine. Not caring if she misses meals, calling her names, controlling every aspect of her life, which also explains why, if we're gonna backstab our husband, we're gonna do it and we're gonna take over and then make our parents lick our fucking boots. That better be an ending. I'm so intrigued by this already. Like, I'm like, there better be an ending where I make them pay. Even though my poor husband, but whatever. Confinement and starvation are clearly their favorite means of enforcing discipline in their daughters. Or rather in Sophia, since Bianca, Sophia's sister, guys, I can't read anymore, can't talk, is their golden child who they barely ever felt the need to discipline. Why do I have to go from one toxic family to another? I don't want to live through abuse. Not again. What choice do I have, though? If I'm a noble daughter now, my only way out of this place is through marriage. I just hope my husband won't be an old disgusting geezer. No, he's basically probably your age, but then he's cold and aloof, but that's like a cakewalk compared. If I want to return to my world, I need to fulfill my mission. That was what that strange voice said. So what is my purpose here? Sophia's parents mentioned a mission too. I have no doubt I ended up in the body of Sophia for a reason. The grumbling of my stomach interrupts my racing thoughts. The body of Sophia, my body now, difficult as it is to think about, is hungry. Maybe it would have been better if I'd eaten the leftovers. No, I just have to wait for the servants to deliver my meal. I wonder if the Count will come to tell me what the conversation at the table was about. Later that evening, the door opens and a maid puts a tray with soup on the ground before hastily closing the door again. Soup seems like a nice offering. Either the Count changed his orders about my food or the servants have taken pity on me. At least, that's what I think at first. I pick up the tray and set it on the desk, sitting down to eat. One look into the bowl, however, shows me that this soup is just the most watered-down broth I've ever seen. Even so, I put a spoonful in my mouth and eat. I'm too hungry to worry about the quality of the food. Even this tasteless soup is better than nothing. The next day goes by as I struggle to keep myself busy in my confinement. I don't know, you got a stack of books, girl. There's like 5. I explore the environment of Sophia's room, trying to get to know her through the items that she holds close to her heart. I quickly discover that other than the brooch she keeps attached to her date dress, she has little in terms of jewelry. Her father's likely gambled all the family jewels away. A tall bookshelf stretches all the way from floor to ceiling, suggesting Sophia liked reading. The books are all on Empire history, with little in terms of entertainment, so I put them aside. Oh, well, yeah, no, that's not very fun. On the nightstand are a pen and paper, but the desk drawers house little in terms of finished letters or documents. I also try my best to find a diary, but to no avail. I do, however, find a small closed chest. Warmth spreads in my heart as Sophia's memory of the person who gave her the item comes to mind. Chiara, the Saintess. The Saintess of the Golden Bow? Are these games tied together? Because I would be like... I don't remember the name of the main character in that, but we also probably changed her name to Spacey, so... Sophia was part of her entourage during her stay in the capital. Wait. Was she in that game too? Was Sophia in the game? In that game? It's been a while since we played it, so I don't remember character tie-ins, but you know what? If this game ties into that one, that's pretty fucking awesome. But I don't remember the characters in that one. It's been a long time. And, like, we know how my brain works. After a week, I forget everything. I swear to God, I am surprised that my memory is not that of a 97-year-old woman, like with severe dementia. That's the way I feel sometimes. But like, we play so many games and we do so many things that by the time I'm like, what was happening here? It's kind of like when I record, like when you play the first part of a game and then like, you know, the fan disc comes out. I have to replay the game because I'll be like, I don't even remember what was going on. Because I've played like 18 games in between. I feel like between Saintess and this one, I've played like so many Atome games in between that like, I've forgotten everything. We go through too many games, guys. Guys, we go through too many games. I can't believe I'm saying that, but we do. My poor memory can't hold them all. But like, that actually is kind of really cool if they tie in. If you're like, yeah, no. Is that why she seems from? Really? Are you? Okay. Well, put a pin in that and look it up. We don't have time to look it up because this part's gonna be like 3 hours long. But that is really cool. I like that. Look at you guys. That's fun. That's neat. Um, Judging from Sophia's reaction, she holds the Saintess in high regard. I fish under the mattress, finding a small key, and open the chest. Well, that's true, because wasn't the Saintess about what was that a webcomic thing too? Or am I just imagining it now and she's like, huh. Inside is an array of letters with expressive, chaotic handwriting. Kiara's handwriting is much like her personality, always in a rush to do one thing or another with little regard for inner peace. The opposite of what you'd think a Saintess would be like. Looking through the letters, I witnessed the evidence of a friendship between Sophia and Kiara. At the same time, I'm doing my best to remember the original story of the webcomic. I feel like it was. Oh my god, it's been so long. It's been way too long. The comic centers around Saintess Kiara as she heals the poor and rich alike with her holy magic powers. She is also a skilled alchemist who invents many potions which help improve health in the Empire. Kiara... Yeah, okay. This is actually like... This is so cute. I love this because if this is your first time and you're playing this, you're like, oh, this sounds interesting. This little, like, what's going on here, this backstory. And then you're like, wait, but that's the prior game. So then you go play it like this. One, it's smart. It's a smart tie-in from one game to the next. You know what I mean? But it's also fun because then it's like, oh, the other characters that we knew. Like, how many times when you're playing an Otome game or any show, you're like, I really wonder what's going on with those characters, those background characters, those side characters. Like, what's going on with that? Like, you know? And you kind of want to know. So now you get that. I like it. I like it a lot. I did not know that. You know what? They didn't tell me that. That's cute. But I guess you obviously did not have to play Saintess of the Golden Bow or anything like that to get what's going on here. It's just a nice little tie-in, and it's a nice little throwback. Kiara falls in love with Luca, the crown prince. Shh, spoilers! We had other love options, right? But she also had other love interests in the story. Her knight, Antonio, who follows her around like a puppy. Oh my god, yeah. And the Duke of the North, Zachary. Wait a minute. He was in that one too? Now I don't remember that. It is an Otome isekai webcomic, like many others I've read. Nothing particularly original, but I enjoyed the familiar premise. But I don't remember Zachary being in that. Was he? Was he? What did I say we were going to pronounce our name like? Carcieri? Carceri. Okay. Sophia Dale Carceri is a friend of Kiara, but she plays no significant role in the story beyond being a background character. She's shy and doesn't speak much, but now we're the background character. Who do we get to be next time? But it seems Kiara holds Sophia dear, regardless of her shortcomings. Oh, how I wish I could have such a friend. I've never grown close to anybody on Earth. I've become even more curious about what mission I am supposed to fulfill. Since Sophia is nobody significant, what can she change in the story? I get my answer from the Count that evening, but I don't remember in if... Hold on. It's interesting because was Zachary one of them? I mean, I remember we did have our little night. You had the, well, they have different names though. The priest, Elijah, that's it. I was like, what's the guy that was, the priest. That's what I was thinking of. Priest. I had to look it up because I'm like, so... The knight, the prince, and the priest. Okay, so it's basically, it is, but it's not, because I don't remember her name being Kiara, but Celeste. A woman reincarnated in the web novel as a minor character. Yeah, but then romance with characters like the knight Levi, the prince Noah, and the high priest Elijah. So it's basically, but it's a tie-in. So even though we are not... she's not, I was like, I don't remember the names of all the characters because, again, it's been forever. But, like, even though she's not referencing the exact name of the characters, it's basically the same premise. You know what I mean? Like I like that they took it and instead of like that's kind of fucking cool. Like, it's not the same, but it is the same. You know what I mean? Like, if you played Saintus and then you played this, especially because, like, where Sophia just said Zachary was one of Kiara's love interests or whatever, and then you're going to marry him, that would be weird if you played Saintus. You're like, whoa, 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 wait. That's why I was like, wait a minute. That's why I had to look it back up. But, like, for the purposes of this game, and, like, the stories are basically, I guess, supposed to be the same, but not really. But if you think about it in a parallel universe of right now times, 2025, there's probably a webcomic or a novel or an anime that's very similar to one that you know and love, but the characters are slightly different and the plot's a little bit different because the person who wrote it is the same person, but different in that other parallel universe. Like, the version of you in a parallel universe is slightly different. So, like, kind of sort of what's going on here, but it's like a tie-in, but not 100%. I like it. I still like it, though, because it makes you go, wait, okay, it's a little nod to your prior game, and if people are intrigued by the story, it kind of makes you look up the other one and go back to it and everything, you know, or it gives you that little nostalgia. You're like, oh, yeah. It's not exactly the same characters, but it's like the same thing, even if it's not. Like, I love it. Anyway. He waltzes into Sophia's room like he owns the place. Also, he looks... Probably because we had a character that looked like him. Was our dad in the other one look like the artwork? It was. I don't think he had a pink mustache, but. And his daughter. Oh, wait, he waltzes into Sophia's room like he owns the place. And his daughter, too, for the matter. Considering the south of the empire is based on Renaissance Italy, this dynamic between a noble father and his daughter isn't that surprising. I get up from my seat at the desk to curtsy to the Count, much like Sophia's memory tells me to do. The curtsy comes out clumsy, and Sophia's father's frown deepens. Wow, I can read. Did you enjoy your meal? No matter. Listen closely, child. You know our family's in debt. Caused by Count Elio's sick addiction to gambling. Our family needs to get closer to the Emperor. I need to win His Majesty's favor. I know of a way to make all of our financial troubles go away. Maybe I'll even be elevated to the position of Duke! Is Sophia's father delusional? I mean, yes. I raise my eyebrows. One would need to do something hugely significant for such a change to happen. You will help me achieve true happiness for this family. How so? You're a noble daughter of eligible age. You're in your prime to marry. Together with the Emperor, we've made a good match for you. You will marry Zachary Colville, the Duke of the North. I blink once, then twice. The image of the cold Duke of the North, the archetype of all dukes from webcomics, comes to mind. Dark hair, eyes like ice, a tall, athletic body honed by years of fighting with a sword. Could have landed a worse match in terms of looks. However, she's describing this, and in my brain I'm like, what's wrong here? Her, me, us, same. I'm sure you're aware of what a great match this is for you. You will become the Duchess of the North. The duchy controls much of the northern lands of the Empire. Although poor due to the limited ability to produce food and the need to rely on imports of grain and vegetables from the central parts of the Empire, the North has a strong military to ward off the monster attacks from the lands even farther north. I wonder how the duchy wants to deal with their food problem. Right now, they're importing food from the Empire. If they rebel against the crown, will they import from allies who resent the Empire instead? Do they have such allies? And that's the problem your marriage will solve. The Emperor told me Duke Zachary is using his strong military to prepare a rebellion with the purpose of making the duchy independent. Memories from the webcomic come to mind. Duke Zachary does indeed launch a rebellion in the book. Prematurely, as results later show. The rebellion fails. Well, see, now we know, so now we can help him. In fact, Many lives were lost in the fighting, and the duchy ends up even poorer as a result after the Emperor imposes large taxes on every aspect of their daily needs as punishment. But what does any of this have to do with me? That's why you've been arranged to marry Duke Zachary and spy on him for us. Spy? Yes. You will find out the Duke's secret and send every ounce of useful information you find to me. Correspondence with any foreign allies the Duke might have, trade agreements with them, names of dignitaries that are on his side, account books. When we have enough information to prosecute the Duke and have him beheaded, you will become a rich widow, and I'll have my debts paid by the crown, and we'll all live in peace and happiness. Until you gamble all the money away and we have to come up with another fucking plan like this, because that's not gonna be it. Do you really think I'm skilled enough to spy on the Duke, Father? You're a beautiful woman, Sophia. You grow up well. All you need to do is seduce the Duke. You'll wrap him around your little finger in no time. I'm not really sure this is a sensible plan. I'm not a great candidate to seduce the Duke. Why doesn't Bianca go? She's much more outspoken and charismatic than myself. She has a circle of guys that adore her. As you know, Bianca's engaged and will be married in half a year. Breaking her engagement would raise suspicion. Zachary Colville will suspect the person we send of being a spy. So while Bianca is obviously more skilled at seduction than you are, I don't want to know how you know this. That's disturbing. We need to send someone who seems too naive to be a spy. Oh, then I'm perfect. I guess that makes sense, even though I'd still rather it was Bianca who was sent. However, I do want to get out of this abusive household. Duke Zachary may not trust me from the get-go, but in the webcomic he's good to Kiara, the protagonist. Perhaps we'll even grow to like each other. But I would end up being the cause of Zachary's demise. It's not like I have a choice in the matter, though. I mean, you do. I'll do my best, Father. Of course you will, my dear Sophia. My life has always lacked choices. When I did finally make a choice and pursued my dream job, all I got was an abrupt and painful death. No, I can't give up. For the time being, I have to comply with Father's plan. Once I'm in Duke Zachary's castle, I'll figure out what I want and what I can do. Here. Father takes out a small pocket mirror and hands it to me. Is it a magic mirror? This is a communication device. The mirror's been enchanted so we can use it to converse with each other over long distances. This is how you'll give me the information I seek without anybody finding out you're spying for the Empire. I look at the unassuming artifact. There's nothing special about the mirror. If it's as important as the Count says, that's a good thing. If nobody knows this item is an artifact, they won't take the mirror away from me. To activate it, just speak my name. I have a matching artifact. Understood. You're much calmer about the situation than I thought you would be. Good. The daughter of Elio Dale? What did we say? Carcieri? Whatever. Has to carry out her duty with dignity. Carcieri? Carcieri. I'm far from calm. I'm just stunned by all the new revelations in my life. I also know how to pick my battles. I cannot disobey a Renaissance count who's apparently my father. But whatever happens later when I'm finally away from his grasp, that's another story. However, I have to keep in mind that this mission must be the one the voice spoke about. So if I want to return to my world, I'll have to fulfill my quest. My life keeps getting harder and harder by the minute. Don't I feel that? 2 weeks later, I'm traveling in a carriage to the north to marry my new husband. I finally reached the northern lands, much of which is covered by forests. We see villages too as we pass, but they're few and far between. I glance out the window, curiously, taking in the sights of the different architecture and people clad in leathers and fur on the street. My heart breaks as I start to understand what the north is like. New England? Cold? The buildings are in dire need of repairs, their roofs caving in, plaster coming off the walls. The cobblestones on the streets are broken, which makes the carriage jostle often. It's like none of the villagers care about keeping their homes in good condition. No, that assumption isn't quite right. They probably do, they can't afford it. The issue is that the people's most pressing needs aren't being met, so they don't have the energy to maintain anything else around them. Yeah. When my eyes see the citizens of the duchy in such dire straits, my heart breaks. They look so thin, disappearing under the thick fur coats they wear. Their clothes are in the same need of repair as their homes. They don't smile at all, clearly going about their daily routines without much heart. Hunger, despair, these are the emotions that can make a person so hollow. Literally and figuratively. The North is barely hanging on. The North has always been oppressed by the South. During the story of the webcomic, Zachary decides he's done enough preparation for the rebellion and finally launches his attack. Like many of the webcomic's readers, I rooted for Zachary to become the main male love interest for Kiara, and for the rebellion to succeed, but I've read many webcomics that started out well and ended not quite as the readers wanted. The story seemed to be going in just such a disappointing direction at the last part I read. I hadn't finished the webcomic yet. I'd only looked up spoilers to see whom Kiara would end up choosing. However, now this somewhat badly constructed fantasy world is my reality, and the plight of the people of the North is very much real. People want to split from the Empire to lead their lives without huge taxes. They already have enough problems with monsters advancing on the homes of the citizens, and Zachary and his army having to stop the attacks. All of those concerns are part of my situation now, too. No matter what happens, though, rebellion or no rebellion, I know I don't want to go back to the Carceri mansion? I have to look at it every time and I can't freaking remember it. I can only look ahead. After 10 long days of travel, damn, that's exhausting, the carriage stops in front of a castle. Hi, hotness! Here's our husband. I'm okay with this. He doesn't have glasses, but he's still hot as fuck. The door opens and a man, possibly the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life, with dark hair curling around his ears and sharp, light blue eyes, extends a hand to me. But he doesn't look cold! Look at him! Look at that smile! It's like a beacon! Oh, God, I'm staying here. There's a smirk on his face when he looks me up and down. Welcome to the cold North, my lady. Of course he's got to have that voice. You know he's got to have that voice. His words are a greeting, but at the same time, they feel cold. I don't know. He looks like he's happy to me. I'll take it. There's nothing else I can do, though, than put my hand in his. I'm a pawn to be married to Duke Zachary, but at the same time, I have to hope that my life in this castle won't be so bad. Thank you, Your Grace. Unload the lady's luggage. Yes, my lord. Servants move around efficiently. This castle is beautiful. There's a fucking snowman! What? This place is magical! Let's stay here forever! He's magical. Look at this elf. I'm here for this. I'm just done. Sold. Selling up. By the way, my parents want me to spy on you, so we're gonna fuck them over and we're gonna make sure this rebellion works, goddammit. I got some plans. Let me whip out my blueprints. Duke Zachary and I stand in front of each other. He looks at me with a cold, closed-off expression. Is he finally realizing that I'm a real person and that he's really gonna get married to me soon? See, now this is the face of a man who gives no fucks. Oh, look at our cute little winter cloak. It's beautiful. And so there's a random man. I don't know who he is. Welcome to the castle of Duke Zachary Colville, future Duchess. I hope you'll find your new home suitable for someone of your standing. Okay, right here. Right here, this one. Why can't I marry him? Nerdy side piece with glasses? Hello? I love him. I love him. In the email they sent, there was just a picture and it was the two of them next to each other. And I was like, what about the side piece with glasses? Like, and no one is surprised that a man with glasses is like, that's it. I'm sold. All it takes is glasses to win me over. Like, I mean, we're in a very difficult place because there's glasses and then there's frigid bastard. Again, if you merged the two together and made frigid bastard with glasses, I doomed, but right now I just want to be in the middle of this. So, good for me. And look at the man who approaches me in Zachary. Thank you. He even has a walking cane. Hotter. Otis. How cute. His name is Otis. That's adorable. I don't know why I love it so much. And this is my advisor, Otis Harving. Havering, sorry. He's my right hand and closest confidant. Oh, so this can be a threesome. I got it. Okay. Sold. That's probably not one of the endings, but I'm just going to pretend. So he's a person I should be wary of, as he's completely on my future husband's side. If I'm supposed to spy on the Duke, I'll have to be mindful to avoid Otis's suspicion as well. Not unless we get Otis into bed. But, I don't know. That's going to be difficult. We're going to have to work on that. I'm over here like, no, I fuck my family. They suck. I want to help Zachary. But then I'm like, but I mean, if I want to take over things and I want to spy and be evil, I got to get Otis into bed and have him backstab Wait. I don't know what ends up anymore. I'll need to gain some allies in the castle. It'd be best to get the Duke and Otis on my side eventually. Somehow. I mean, feminine wild. That's all I got. Other than, like, anybody want a sandwich? But that's a long-term project. In the meantime, I hope I can find some neutral parties open to supporting me. Pleased to meet you. I'll be in your care, Your Grace, as I adjust to my new life here. Yes, that's right. You'll need some time to get used to your new surroundings. I hope you start feeling at home in the castle quickly. He's being so nice. Why is he smirking so much while saying words that are meant to be welcoming to me? This is so confusing. Otis, what voice do you have? We can't give you the flirty whore voice. You do not have the flirty whore look. Like, does he have the accent? The really bad accent? You just seem to have a normal voice. Otis just seems like he'd be normal, so. You'll be married in the town church in 3 days. Tomorrow the preparations for your wedding will start, my lady. Make sure to rest well today. We can't give him the Lupin treatment, seriously. He's not that flamboyant. It's not gonna work. Though, we need a character like that. There's gotta be someone in here I can do that with. And the South doesn't see our marriage as something sacred. They wouldn't care if I just sent them a certificate without a proper ceremony. However, I'm going ahead with the wedding anyway. Thank you, Your Grace. That's actually very thoughtful of Zachary. I know he's opposed to our marriage, but at least he's honoring me like a true duchess. Let's move inside the castle. I'm sure the lady is tired from her long journey north. I have to admit that I'd love some rest. We'll show you to your room, then. When we enter the castle proper, I'm in awe of the spacious great hall, with much different architecture and decor than Sophia's father's mansion in the south. One would think a castle so big and made of sturdier materials than the South sandstone would be unwelcoming, but the sculptures and banners that fill up the nooks and crannies make the atmosphere of the hall grand, but not unpleasant. It's really nice. There's a lot to look out here. The place has been decorated with care. My lady, you forgot your coat. I'm taken out of my thoughts by the sight of a girl with long, curly, dark hair running down the stairs, while a distraught maid follows right after her, carrying an expensive fur coat. I don't need the coat. They're already inside, see? I want to see what my brother's new wife is like. It's cold in the hall, too. You'll get sick, my lady. I won't. I can't do any of my lady voices right now. Oh my god, look at her. She is adorable as fuck, and I love her dress. Can I get a dress like this? Zachary lets out an annoyed huff. The girl jumps down the last steps and stops in front of us. New bestie. Brigitte? Is it supposed I'm sure it's not Bridget. I'm sure it's Brigitte. Because it could be Bridget. But Bridget is usually spelled with a D in it, so Brigitte? I don't know. We're supposed to say things with accents? I don't know. Anyway. Hello, I'm Zachary's sister. We're gonna go with Brigitte. Colville. There's Zachary, and then she's got a, well, whatever. Because, like, Zachary's just Zachary. And then there's Bridget, but then Brigitte is, like, fancier. That sounds more like German or Austrian. Is that right? I don't know. Anyway. Pleased to meet you. Sophia, whatever. I can't say her last name, guys. I can't. Daughter of the Count, with the same last name that I can never pronounce, and I have to pause and stop and think about it. I make sure to introduce myself properly. Wow, you're so beautiful. What a pretty hair color. We don't have people with pink hair in the north. Is that a common hair color in the South? I wouldn't know, but my whole family has pink hair. Amazing! Do you think she's gorgeous too, brother? This is the moment you're supposed to compliment your fiancé. How can you be so dense? I'm dense? Yes. You may not like that the Emperor has commanded you to marry, but why would you take out your frustration on this nice person? Brigitte, I've told you not to meddle in politics. It's a topic that's far too complicated for you at your age. I'll be 16 soon, a legal adult. I fear that day. Hey, she's adorable. Leave her alone. Leave my best friend alone. You're so rude. He's been very mean to you, has he not, Sophia? I wouldn't say that. It's the truth, but I can't admit it. Brigitte may not be a player in the politics of this house, but I very much am. I envy her for being able to speak freely. So he was rude to you! Zachary, you meanie! Enough of this, Brigitte. The lady's tired from her long journey. We were about to show her to her new quarters. Yeah, sure. I'll find you later, Sophia, so we can talk without this rude brother of mine around. All right. I should stop myself, but I can't help the bright smile that appears on my face. Brigitte may be younger, but she seems like a kind soul. I'm glad to have met someone so welcoming in the castle. Violetta, give me my coat now, please. I'm going out for a walk. Yes, my lady. I think they spelled her name messed up right here. Brigitte puts on her coat and walks swiftly out of the hall and into the cold air of the courtyard. It's like 2 G's. I don't think it had 2 G's before. Zachary stares at her with a troubled expression, but then he shakes his head and gestures for us to continue up the stairs. We walk down a series of long hallways. And I'm sorry, look at Otis also has the longest glorious goddamn hair ever. How was your journey, my lady? The awkward silence is interrupted by Otis, asking me a question. Again, he's got a walking staff. He's got long, glorious hair, glasses. I mean, Jesus. I wonder if he really cares, but doubt creeps up in my soul. He probably just wants to break the monotony of a quiet, long walk. This is awkward. I don't want to say I love the look of the duchy, because I loved it. Because then he's like, really? You like crumbling and like poor? But you're like, I noticed how poor it seems and like, you know what I mean? But that feels rude. Like, damn, your people broke, bitch. You know what I mean? I feel like it's bad either way. But is it worse to be like, oh my God, everything is so nice here? And they're like, really? Really, the holes in the roof and the people starving to death, that's nice to you? The fuck is wrong with you? Out of touch much? I feel like that's the answer you'd get. But if you're like, I noticed how poor everything, that, you know, you're noticing the realization and you're not being like, wow, everyone's poor. As long as you don't say it judgy. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like we'd say it that way, so. I noticed how poor the duchy is. How thin and starved the people on the streets are. I know the country suffers from low food reserves in winter and has to import food stock from the south at exorbitant prices. Oh, Otis is mad. I'm sorry, Otis glaring at me right now is so hot. I know I can't date him, but why can't I? You must be mistaken, my lady. The condition of the duchy's not as poor as you say. Otis... Oh! Oh, I got a suspicion increases. It's true, though. I mean, like, that's the truth of it. Otis gives me a disapproving look. Zachary glances my way, but his expression is inscrutable. Maybe I shouldn't have brought up politics so soon after arriving at the castle. Sorry, but like, damn. Were they testing how perceptive I am to figure out how likely I might be to meddle in the duchy's affairs? You know, that's valid. That's valid. Shoot! I feel like I just made a mistake. I absolutely did! Shit! And this is the room where you'll be staying. Otis doesn't like me now. I don't think Zachary liked me to begin with. It's fine. I don't think I've gone anywhere in his opinion, but Otis, I might have gone down. We arrived at a door, and Otis opens it to reveal a spacious room with my suitcases already inside. I enter and spin around, taking in the sights of my new living quarters. Once again, I'm surprised by the cozy interior. I take off my cape and gloves, lying them down on one of the chairs. "And we'll leave you to rest today, and the maid that's assigned to serve you will come soon. If you need anything, let her know." I nod and we say goodbye to each other. Zachary and Otis leave, closing the door behind themselves gently. I plop down on the bed, staring at the canopy above. Only now do I realize how dead tired I am after the long journey. There's a knock on the door. When I call in for the person to enter, a maid with a bob of short brown hair comes in with a tray of steaming food. She puts the meal on the table, then turns to me with a polite smile. I get up from the bed and sit down at the table, looking at the hearty stew and crispy bread she served me. Not the kind of fancy food Count Elio loves so much, but I have to say I prefer it. At least here I'll get to eat proper meals, unlike at Sophia's family's mansion. "Thank you for the meal. Could you tell me your name?" "I'm Maya." The maid curtsies to me. "Hello, Maya. Nice to meet you." "I'll be serving you from now on as a personal maid, my lady. May I ask how your journey was?" Quite tiring, if I'm to be honest. I think after the meal I'll have to retire to sleep. "Is there anything you'd require from me? Maybe a warm bath would help." "Oh, a bath sounds wonderful." "I'll draw one. Are you warm enough? Should I bring wood to light the fireplace?" "No, the temperature's okay." It's a bit chilly, but I walked quite a distance here in my winter clothes, so I'm fine with the temperature. I've never been a fan of excessive heat. The South was too warm for me, even if I'm inhabiting a Southern lady's body. I'm inhabiting a Southern lady's body, and it's too hot down here for me, too. "Okay, I'll go prepare your bath then. If there's anything more I can do to serve you, my lady, please don't hesitate to tell me." Of course. Maya leaves, and my heart feels warmer from her conversations. So few people in my life have ever worried about my well-being. I know Maya's just doing her job, but still. Simply being asked if she can do anything to make me feel better gives me a nice feeling. Maya and Brigitte, or Bridget, whatever. Doesn't matter. They're our besties. We like having lady friends that are not out to get us. The maid seems professional but kind. I don't think I'll have any complaints about her work ethic. At least, that's the first impression I have of her. Maya returns when I'm done with my meal and sets up the bath for me. Since the meal helped me feel more rested and recovered, I think about some questions I'd like to ask her. Oh, like in the castle, more about the duchy. Is the Duke respected by the people? Does the Duke like his sister? I guess we're going to ask all of them, so what's life like in the castle for you? What's life like in the castle for you, Maya? Do you enjoy your job? I mostly used to take care of doing the laundry and cleaning the corridors before I was assigned to you, my lady. I expect my workload to change from now on. I'll still be helping others with their chores, but my main job from now on will be serving you. Do you like working for Duke Zachary? He's a good master. I have no complaints about my life at the castle. Maya seems cold with her answers. I suppose before I learn more about her true opinion of Zachary, I'll first have to gain her trust. Can you tell me more about the duchy? Can you tell me more about the duchy? The area around the castle is famous for its hot springs. There are also many hills nearby. The kids like to sleigh down them. Since we have snow almost year-round, it's a go-to activity for the children. The castle's the safest place in the duchy. You can wander into the nearby woods and hills without worrying that anything bad will happen to you. What kind of bad things can happen around here? As I said, no harm will come to you here. I feel like Maya's deflecting my question. Is the Duke respected by the people? Is Duke Zachary respected by the people? The Duke protects us from harm. She sounds like robotic with her answers. Yes, the people respect the master. I feel like Maya wanted to say something more on the topic, but stopped herself. Maybe one day I'll gain her trust enough for her to tell me what she really thinks about the Duke. And does the Duke like his sister? Does the Duke like his sister? They're siblings. Maya states her words so matter-of-factly, as if the fact that Zachary and Brigitte are brother and sister explains everything about their behavior towards each other. I know that, but it's not my place as a maid to speak about my master's relationships with his family members. Maya sets this boundary between us firmly. I have to respect her for that. Those are all the questions. Those are all the questions I have for now. Thank you for your answers, Maya. The bath is ready. I'll help you wash up, my lady. I'm embarrassed about Maya helping me take a bath, but I don't feel like it would be proper to dismiss her when she just wants to do her job. I suffer through the embarrassment of having her help me. When she's done and I'm dressed in a nightgown, I jump into bed. Maya leaves me to rest. I'm sorry. But I would also be that person. I'd be like, I'm cool. Like, I just want to relax in a nice hot bath by myself. And then you got like somebody staring at you. How you relaxing? As I'm falling asleep, I think about Zachary's cold disposition and his mean remarks. Despite his unkind words, he never outright disrespected me, and I get the feeling he never will. He's too good a player of politics. Scary. Not wanting to host a proper marriage ceremony was the rudest comment he shared with Otis and I, but I'm not sure if he was serious about skipping the wedding in the first place. Did he suggest skipping it just to see how I'd react to the comment? Was everything Otis and Zachary said to me a test to see how I'd address them and my new situation? Anxiety makes my heartbeat quicken. I feel cold and hot at the same time. I can't fall asleep, tossing and turning, worrying that I said the wrong thing today, multiple times. Well, that just makes me feel like I know I'm sus now, but worrying how I'll survive against the hostility of my husband and his advisor. It's dark when I finally drift off to sleep. Your only purpose in life is to be used as a pawn. You've been arranged to marry Duke Zachary Colville and serve me in getting a better position in life. Have you spent all the money you got from the crown on a fancy meal again? That's not the voice that I gave the mother, but whatever. Don't worry, love. Sophia will spy on the Duke for us. Our life will take a huge turn for the better soon. The only job you could do is a shop clerk or cleaner. You want to become a spy? You lack the subtlety to play politics in a world you don't know that much about anyway. You're going to fail. You're not good enough to get the Duke on your side, to deceive him until he parts with his secrets. I might have welcomed you to the castle, but that doesn't really mean we want you here. Perhaps Maya and my sister may have been kind to you, but everyone else wants you gone. I will divorce you as soon as I can. I will find a reason to cast you aside. Can the reason be because I'm sleeping with Otis? He doesn't like me either. Damn it. You're never going to gain my trust. I wake up with a start, sitting up in my bed. My heartbeat is erratic, my throat dry. I feel like the world around me is spinning. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I need to get out of here. I quickly wrap the shawl Maya left around my nightgown and step outside the room into the much colder hallway. The air is circulating more here, a small draft chilling me. I welcome the sensation. I take a few deep breaths, feeling the exhaustion from almost having a full-blown panic attack settling deep in my bones. It was just a nightmare. It's not real. And yet, deep down, I feel like the words that Sophia's parents, my parents, and Zachary threw at me in the dream were the truth. I'm not good enough to be a spy. I'm not going to gain Zachary's trust no matter what I do. Not with the way I've been playing it. No, I can't think that way. I need to find a solution. I want to get back to my world so I can finally lead the life I've always wanted. But what if the life you've always wanted is here, married to Zachary and, having Otis as a lover on the side and a nice little throuple? I'm just saying, what's wrong with that? So I can start my career. I worked so hard for that reality. I need to calm down. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find the way back to my room, but I don't care right now. I decide to go for a walk down the long corridors of the castle. I walk for a while until I stumble upon an ajar door. Light falls through the opening and voices can be heard from within. I stop walking, curiosity getting the better of me, when I realize the people speaking are Zachary and his advisor Otis. Ooh, you knew. She's bound to be a spy. They're talking about me. Don't you think they picked the wrong person to spy on me? She seems like a normal girl, not a major threat. They must have thought to send someone we wouldn't suspect of being a spy from the start. Otis is smart. That's why they gave him glasses. That's why the man has glasses, to prove how smart he is. And they certainly did a decent job of researching your preferences. This kind of sweet but dignified lady is just the type of woman you like. Are you saying I'm not the type of woman you could fall for either, Otis? This is making me sad. There might be more to her than we know right now. It's too early to judge if she'll be any good at spying on you. I doubt she'll come up with any sound plans. I actually... Kick in the door. Actually, I have some blueprints on how the fuck you can overthrow the government, because fuck that shit. I read this webcomic. I'm not letting you go down. All right. Here's the plan, boys. And then they're like, wait, what? What the fuck is happening? You're like, no, I was sent here as a spy, but my dad's a fucking cunt. And he spends all of our money. So what, he thinks that I'm going to, whatever, you're going to get killed and then he's going to get the money and then we're all going to live happily. He's going to just keep spending all that money and we're going to have to go through this goddamn subplot again. And I ain't built for that shit. What the hell? I'm like 18. Let me retire in peace. I don't know how old we are, but... Well, Brigitte's like 16, so we're older than that, at any rate. And the fact that I might find her attractive doesn't matter. She's gonna be my wife in name only. I mean... I'm sorry, but we have to consummate the marriage, Zachary. You know what? Let's wait till we're in love. I'll stay wary of her. I don't want to risk her getting close to me when she might be planning to steal the secrets of the duchy. We should limit Sophia's access to the information that flows through this castle. Of course, we're not going to give her any proper duchess work like taking care of the household finances either. Duchesses in this setting are responsible for bookkeeping and making crucial financial decisions for the whole duchy. The point of delegating much of the management of the duchy and estate to the duchess would be to lighten the burden of those responsible on the Duke Lesser. Responsibilities on the Duke. Okay, I read that weird. He already has to manage internal and external affairs as well as the military, which means relief from making decisions about the household affairs would be very welcome. You know, it's just really funny that even in modern times, you have menfolk being like, women shouldn't be allowed to do anything. And it's like, ye olde times, they're like, could you fucking figure out the bills? Because I don't got the math for it. Even women were always doing the motherfucking bill. I'm just saying. Men are crazy. There's only so much one person can handle after all. And as I understand it, currently Duke Zachary's doing all the work himself right now, with help from Otis as needed. So Otis is basically you're his wife in name, and Otis is his wife in function. I'm just saying, this is the perfect throuple for me. Let me live my dreams, guys. It's much too dangerous. I agree. She'll be a duchess in name only. The words hurt. I have vast knowledge of finances, so the task of keeping books for the duchy and making monetary decisions is something I hope to do in the castle. See, now this will be like why we don't want to go back and do the job in our real world, our original world, because this is our real world now, because we'll be like, but I can still do all the math I want here, and I get a hot husband, and we have an awesome boyfriend. Because Otis is part of it. Like, it's fight me. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't going back. The work would help fill my days and stimulate me mentally. Still, I understand why the two of them don't want me close to any confidential information. With how much the North is in debt, it's better an outsider doesn't touch the books. Otis has just confirmed the duchy's poor financial status. I should look more into this matter. Perhaps I'll be able to find a solution for relieving at least some of their debt. That would actually be nice if she does find that. Like, finds a way and then she gives them that information and like, doesn't say anything to her father. It'd be a way to gain the trust of the Duke and Otis, at least. I should figure out if there's anyone I can ask about the debt or any other ways to find the information I need. Deciding I've heard enough, I tiptoed away from the ajar door. I found a potential way to progress my mission here. I'm still unsure of how to gain anybody's trust, though, but I won't give up. I'll do my best to fulfill my duty. Is that it? Woo! To be continued on such a cliffhanger. Anyway, be sure to add the game to your wish list to follow its development and be notified when the full experience is available. So, again, like I said, guys, this was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I do love their art. We had a good time with it in Saintus as well, but this is great. I love it here too. Like, Sophia's beautiful. Zachary's hot as shit. Otis exists. Hello. You give me a sexy man with glasses. I mean, seriously, could have been anybody. You just put glasses on him and I'm sold. So, yeah. So, like I said, I will be providing in the description down below the links for the Steam page, and I will give you, I believe, Anna, or Anna, again, I don't want to butcher your poor name. Sorry, she gave me the links for, I believe, Instagram and Twitter. So I'll link those down below as well for this, and any other links that they gave me to provide that will be all down below for you guys, so you can check it out and whatnot if you are interested and you want to add it. But hell yeah. But thank you to Transparent Games for sending me the code for the demo, because hell yeah, this was a lot of fun and I'm intrigued. I absolutely like that there's a little tie-in with Saintus, even if it's not the same characters, but it's kind of the same, but it's not really. I love that though. So yeah, looking forward to this. This looks like I had a lot of fun with it. I am sorry that it took me so long to get it out, because I know, like, I got the email like a week or two ago. I was like, I'll get the demo, I'll record it this weekend and put it up, and it's been like, probably like, I think I said that last weekend, and now it's like into October. I think I said I would try to do it the end of September, but it has been very difficult for me, trying to get ahead of all the things that I need to do for my upcoming vacation. So I've been very behind. I thought, yeah, I got 40 minutes to an hour. I mean, it was an hour and a half, but I knew it was going to take me a little bit longer. But let's see, actually, can we go, if we go back to title, can we see extras? Can we see our, oh, we can't see the gallery yet. Aw. But there you go. Oh, look. And you can see all the staff. There you go. Everybody. Awesome. Well, let's leave that so you guys can, leave and see the staff and all the artists and all the people that are working on this, because yes. Does this slide? Are there more people? Oh, there are. Look at all of that. Look at all of that. Oh, there you go. Oh, awesome. But yeah, so I know I'm a little bit behind getting it out there, but yeah, I'm very behind getting everything recorded. I was trying to do 120 hours. And I mean, I could have said that. I could have been like, I'm a little behind with stuff, but I was like, no, I'll do this. I'll put this on the docket. We'll put it on top of stuff. And then like, oops, it took me a little bit longer than I anticipated to get it out there. But I knew, I'm like, I got to do it. We got to do it. Got to get it out there for you guys. It's a one-off, but I hope you enjoyed your time here with this demo. I had a great time, but again, all the links will be in the description. So at any rate, I will see you guys around in other things. Check out the Steam page and all the links below if you're interested in this. Thanks again to Transparent Games for sending me this and asking me once again to play the demos. I had a lot of fun, and I appreciate you sending love to all of us on this channel, and we love you guys too. So I'll see you guys around in other things. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.